Have you ever been there? You've hustled hard to build your personal brand. Your LinkedIn profile is flawless. The code you write at work is incredibly clean. The life blueprint you mapped out looks perfectly smooth on paper. But then, one day, a single careless comment in a board meeting blows up a massive opportunity. Or, a drama at home completely drains your mental RAM, leaving you with zero focus. Eventually, your life system just crashes. Picture this. For those of us navigating our 20s and beyond, life is like a massive enterprise procurement dashboard. A relentless stream of data is constantly flowing in. You're trying to keep everything perfectly organized, but sometimes, a minor communication glitch or ignoring the backlog of your family relationships is like hard-coding a broken formula into the central system. Just one bad variable, and the entire dashboard throws a massive red error. Welcome to the Logical Monk channel, the podcast where we don't preach at you. Instead, we roll out the architectural blueprints for a highly resilient, anti-fragile life. Today, we aren't looking at ancient Buddhist life blessings as some dusty philosophy on a shelf. We're treating them as core operating system updates, essential patches you need to survive in the modern corporate grind. We are decrypting the algorithms of rules 10, 11, and 12. Speech, parents, and family. And we're going to do it using agile software frameworks, supply chain logistics formulas, and world-class behavioral economics. It's time to stop treating your life like a beta release. Let's engineer your life for scale. Most young professionals in their early to mid-20s try to manage their lives like an outdated waterfall software project. You map it out linearly from A to Z. Graduate land, a killer corporate job, greater than find the perfect spouse, build a family. You just assume the environment around you will remain static and predictable. But in today's business landscape, we operate in a VUCA, world volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. A sudden economic shift, a global pandemic, or a crisis at home, and your linear blueprint is instantly obsolete. More importantly, when we overplan, we tend to slice our expectations and our time into like trying to calculate project hours down to 1.5 or 0.2 days. In reality, managing relationships and life goals doesn't work like that. Real life requires the clarity of integer days. You need to block out 1, 2, or 3 full solid days to truly dedicate to a priority. Slicing everything into overly complex decimals will only overload your life's central processing unit. The bug isn't in your intentions. The bug is your attachment. What Buddhism calls appadonatu, that rigid, inflexible plan. In the Buddhist framework, this point of failure is called dukkha, or system friction. You are trying to compile waterfall code in an agile world. So, we need to install an emergency hotfix, starting with Rule 10. Rule 10, right speech. When you are stepping into your career, communication is your highest stakes user interface, UI. In computer science, we heavily prioritize human-computer interaction, HCIY. Because it doesn't matter how brilliant your back-end logic is, if your interface is clunky and frustrating. The system fails. Treating your words as an interface means you must prioritize user experience UX. Think about designing a corporate data dashboard. If you use ambiguous terms or confusing category labels, the end user is completely lost. Life communication is identical. If your speech is abrasive, deceptive, or poorly timed, even if you are 100% factually correct, you are creating massive friction. When friction spikes, data packets get lost, misunderstandings occur, and the opportunity crashes. Right speech isn't about being overly polite or fake. It is about optimizing data transfer. It's about prioritizing clarity, truth, and timing. In communication engineering, this is essentially minimizing your signal-to-noise ratio. Good speech is delivering the cleanest, most relevant data packet directly into the listener's system. Let's look at the data. In clinical psychology, there is a powerful predictive tool called the Gottman method, which can predict relationship failure with over 90% accuracy. Do you know the primary metric that crashes the system? It's the frequency of criticism, contempt, and defensiveness. Simply put, toxic speech. Conversely, look at high-stakes corporate environments. Research from the Wharton School by researchers like Morris Schweitzer shows that in intense negotiations, individuals who demonstrate high emotional intelligence, EQ, using strategic empathetic communications consistently generate superior outcomes. Think about it. When you submit a report or pitch a project directly to the GM office, they don't want emotional fluff or venting. They want highly filtered, perfectly structured data. Right speech builds trust, and trust is the ultimate lubricant that eliminates the friction tax of conflict. The 2,500-year-old algorithm of the Buddha perfectly aligns with modern clinical and executive management data. Rule 11. Supporting your parents. For young adults building their careers, this one often triggers a lot of anxiety. We aren't going to look at this emotionally. We are going to view it through the lens of data. In your 20s, your human capital asset, you, is in a high growth phase. Many assume that supporting parents right now will just drain your growth resources, right? We have to beware of the sunk cost fallacy. Most young adults get trapped in two extremes. Either they try to pay back every cent of their parents' investment, which is financially impossible at this age, or they cut ties completely, which creates massive relational friction. To balance this equation, we need a paradigm shift. Stop viewing family obligations merely as an expense or a draining section of your life. View it as risk management and asset optimization. Ignoring Rule 11 is like neglecting the source system that provided your initial hardware and OS high-level conflicts with your family. Act as a background app that silently drains your mental RAM, ultimately destroying your performance at your primary job. Research published in the Journal of Family Psychology regarding generational support systems reveals that this relationship is actually about logistics and reciprocity, not just transactional benefits. The most successful family systems optimize flows rather than tracking debts. Your parents are your upstream suppliers, and you are the midstream distributor. The secret to making this logistics chain work is highly efficient time allocation. Going back to our concept of time, don't just give them fragmented decimal point hours when you're half distracted. Focus on giving them integer days. Dedicate a full, undivided 100% block of quality time. When you support your parents' Rule 11 with this level of clarity, you stabilize a secure network. This security drastically reduces market volatility in your personal life, freeing up your mental bandwidth to innovate and grow. You aren't just paying a debt. You are defragmenting your own brain by resolving high-stakes conflicts. Rule 12. Supporting your spouse and children. For a 22-year-old, this might sound like a 5 to 10-year goal. But in MBA strategy, we know you don't build a $10 billion unicorn startup from scratch in a day. You have to build a minimum viable product MVP first to test, gather data, and pivot. In your 20s, Rule 12 isn't about saving up a college fund for kids you don't have yet. It's a strategic phase where you source the primary partner you want to integrate into your life stack. Think about it. Choosing a life partner is exactly like vetting top-tier vendors to partner with your enterprise long-term demo. You need to do your due diligence, check emotional stability, and analyze if their core values align with your growth trajectory. Choosing the wrong partner in this phase is the fastest way to cause an unrecoverable system crash. Engineering a family requires you to stop viewing dating as a hobby and start viewing it as your most critical strategic alliance. The Gottman Institute also analyzed what actually makes long-term partnerships thrive. The primary metric isn't how good you look together on paper or having identical hobbies. The number one predictor of stability is a high-trust culture, defined by thousands of micro-moments of reliable connection and support. This mirrors exactly what Google's multi-year initiative, Project Aristotle, discovered about high-performing teams. The secret ingredient: psychological safety. Your top-tier vendors, your life partners, must operate in a family ecosystem where both sides actively support and provide psychological safety to one another. Rule 12. It is the equivalent of building the ultimate high-performance organization. Trust is the lubricant that removes daily friction and allows you to survive the hard times together. When the time comes to pivot from your relationship MVP to a family scale-up actually having kids, you are going to need extreme agile project management. The environment will change in a millisecond. You cannot precisely plan for sleep deprivation, medical variables, or fluctuating financial markets. If your relationship is built on temporary variables, like just physical attraction, it's like a system built with hard-coded scripts. The moment new unexpected data hits, the system freezes and shatters under the pressure. But if you applied Rule 12 from the beginning, choosing a partner based on trust, you possess structural agility. You can execute agile sprints, adapt to new variables, and survive massive shifts. You aren't planning for static perfection. You are assembling a highly flexible, durable ecosystem. Let's summarize the entire system architecture. Rule 10 speech: optimizing your human-computer interface to be clean and friction-free. Rule 11 parents: the risk management protocol to stabilize your source system. Rule 12 family: validating your long-term strategic alliance to build a high-trust culture. These aren't isolated concepts. They are highly integrated modules of your core OS. You are a fully integrated system. Imagine your life as a supercomputer. If you optimize only your career but fail, Rule 10 speech: friction will destroy your professional opportunities. If you speak well but ignore Rules 11 and 12, family conflict will run as a background process and throttle your performance in your 30s. Installing this holistic patch means understanding that the stability of your communication interface and your support system dictates the long-term health and output of your life. Alright, before we log off, here is your implementation protocol for the week. Protocol 1. Communication Interface Debugging, Rule 10. Before you deploy any critical communication packet, run this test. Is it true? Is it useful? Is it gentle? If any answer is no, refine the packet. Prioritize clarity over emotionally charged friction. Protocol 2. Source System Risk Mitigation, Rule 11. Accept the reciprocal logistics flow. Stop stressing about paying back an unpayable debt. Instead, execute small, fully committed actions using integer days, like dedicating one full, undistracted Sunday entirely to your parents. Stabilize the source system to defrag your brain's CPU. Protocol 3. Relationship MVP. Validation Rule 12. Stop looking for perfect compatibility. Apply a filter for trust, reliability. Choose the premium vendors of your life who are ready to support and scale with you. Validate your relationship code right now. Life in your 20s and beyond is volatile, but you have the engineering tools to manage the flow. Stop fearing the pivots. Align with the algorithm of anarcha impermanence. Become like earthquake-resistant architecture, agile, structurally flexible, deeply rooted, and naturally swaying with the wind. You won't just survive the storm, you will harness its energy to drive your own innovation. Thank you for tuning in to the Logical Monk channel. If you enjoyed this blend of cutting-edge engineering, MBA strategy, and logical dharma, don't forget to subscribe and share this with your colleagues. Until next time, stay logical, stay agile, and keep engineering your peace.